Hello everyone, this is Malkir. I'm here with Zicks, and we're actually going to be watching a game with Sovi and Sunoco in it. So that should be pretty fun, just for everyone that watches our stream. Maybe get to watch the game, see some commentary and see what's going on in the background. So we'll go ahead and talk about this lineup. If you can do that real quick for me.
Um, well, you on the bot lane you have Sovi running Vayne, which never saw it. Vayne's definitely a strong character in my opinion. She's got some good utility. She's got a great 1v1, especially she can get positioned very well. Versus an Ashe, I definitely like that matchup, Vayne versus Ashe right now. Nunu Vayne, very strong lane. Morgana Ashe, not too sure about that lane. I mean, it's never seen it before. I don't know how good that is, but I would expect the Vayne Nunu to win that lane on bottom.
And then if we also, if we look at the jungle, I just want to address the fact that we do have Lee Sin on the other side, and then we have Sunoco. Sunoco's known for very, very aggressive ganking with his Amumu. He carries himself, 1500 and whatnot, using simply Amumu, and if you do any solo queue, you know how painful carrying as a jungle can be, especially with Amumu. Amumu because he's so squishy, but at the same time he's playing against Lee Sin. Lee Sin ganks are very scary. He can show up in your lane, he can execute someone, he can knock them back, he can literally just, manipulate the lane however he wants and tower dive at low levels. As we see here, we're actually in the game. This is live, as you can see. It's completely caught up. It's only a 3-minute delay. So we're going to go ahead and let everyone start branching out. Now, what do you think about these build orders?
Not in the game yet, so I can't tell.
Okay. Well, I forgot that my computer is not powered by hamsters. I apologize for that.
Yeah.
You have Ashe started with Doran Blade, which I'm a fan of, but I don't really main ADC. Zicks does main ADC, so once he gets in, he'll be able to talk to you more about that. And then as far as top lane with the Jace and the Renekton, which actually, Jace Renekton top is probably going to be pretty interesting. There will be a lot of training. I'm really curious to see if Renekton can keep up with the powerhouse harassment that is Jace. Recently he's been getting banned in a lot of tournaments, and then just, overall in solo queue because his ability to just carry really hard, even if he doesn't have the strongest early game.
Yeah, I feel like with the Renekton and Jace matchup, it's going to be a very mental matchup between two players. I don't think there's really, on paper, you can really say one champion's just going to dominate the other. I mean, it is definitely going to come down to build orders, whether one wants to go more damaging in the team fights, whether or not one just wants to go more for the laning phase. But I definitely think if Jace can play this right, he should be able to walk away from this lane very strong.
Do you feel that there will be a lot of jungle pressure top as a result of these lanes, or do you think that the jungles are pretty much just going to leave top by itself?
I think probably the most logical thing would be for the bottom to be getting snowballed the most right now, especially versus that lane, the Vayne Nunu lane. That's definitely a lane you want to snowball. With Vayne, she's not very strong early game, so you definitely want to get her snowball. Late game, she can carry a team by herself. I would definitely expect to see a camp on the bottom. I think the top lane should just be left alone right now.
And if we actually look up here, Renekton is still sitting at his tower. I don't know. He might have gone to get some water. Oh, there he moves. All right, he's moving.
There we go.
And we're actually going to look bottom lane. We actually have an early Lee Sin. He's going into this bush. However, Lee Sin did not know about this ward in the tri-bush that Issue placed really, really early on, which, it's good because he knew that Lee Sin started bottom. He knew Lee Sin would have red, and he knew Lee Sin was probably going to go to try and do that snowball that Zicks was just talking about bot. And so they easily denied that, put the ward here, and so now this bottom lane is pretty much just going to be a lot of just, farming with Nunu snowballs harassment.
Yeah, I definitely like that ward right there. Mostly Lee Sin's like to gank around, they finish her red around 220. That's normally when they're trying to gank, so that's definitely a smart ward right there, especially knowing that Vayne's so weak early game. That's definitely, I like that choice.
Exactly. Now if we look over, if we look at the farm and overall speed, as a result of Lee Sin going bot, trying to get that gank and not being able to, it lets Sunoco actually be a little ahead. It might not seem like a lot, but Amumu's I don't know if you agree, but he's probably a relatively slow jungler, and it's really important for him to try and stay at least somewhat on par as the other jungle, especially one like Lee Sin who can jungle really hard.
Right, yes, that's definitely true. Amu is a very slow jungler. I wouldn't consider him slow, but he's just not, as good as your Mundos and your Shyvanas. He's definitely a champion that needs to farm early, and then he can get those like very aggressive ganks off.
If we look up at a top lane, it's pretty much like we were kind of assuming. Jace is pushing his lane pretty easily. He has 18 CS. Renekton's getting denied really hard. Which kind of seems like it would happen because in order for Renekton to actually do damage, he has to jump in there. Jace with his hammer can just, jump on him and knock him away. Actually,
right.
we have this potential gank bot.
Silver.
Oh.
Nunu
That's a great condemn right there.
Okay, that was a good first blood. It looked like she black shielded way too late on that bandage toss by Mumu. Mumu just went in, red buff, hit him, didn't really matter. And I don't know if you watched the Ashe, but instead of actually like trying to finish off issue, she kind of just ran. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I really don't like that. I mean, especially when you're giving up first blood, you got to get some type of trade-off. If you just go 0 for 1, that's definitely not a good sight. You really need to get that other kill, even if it does mean giving somebody else a kill.
Yeah, exactly. And how about this overall just matchup bot if you've been watching it?
I definitely like where Vayne's at right now. That spot that she's holding right there is definitely a spot that Vayne's like to hold. Especially, you got those two walls right there, and then if they try to push any pressure into that bush, you just get free condemns with Vayne. Definitely like the spot that they're holding right now. That's my favorite choke spot for Vayne.
There you have it, guys. If you play Vayne, make sure you push aggressively. Make sure your support is warding so that you can actually get away with it. We actually have an early pink ward coming down by issue. He has no GB10. Instead, he sacrificed it in order to get his pink ward, cleared that ward out right there, which now just gives him more control on knowing if a gank's coming, and then it also stops their bot lane from really being able to get out of that predicament that Zicks was saying is so strong.
And had a possible gank in the mid, but Lee Sin was right there to back him off.
And that's actually... I'm actually curious, actually. We haven't really talked about the Rumble mid. No, I don't really see it. This might be why he's actually going to get ganked right here. Because he can't really...
Oh, I do not agree with that bandage toss right there.
Let's see if he can get away. I'm pretty sure he's fine. Yeah, and he gets away. I think Lee Sin might have been able to go in there and finish him off. But at the same time, it's kind of... he was right to get out. If Karthus had more mana...
Yeah, if you pay attention to this top lane right now, Renekton's getting pretty denied.
Oh yeah,
Jace is keeping a good CS right now. What Renekton really needed to do off the early game is he needs to put pressure on Jace at level 1. Jace has no way to keep his health up, and the more you let him farm, that's when he's going to start getting his Doran's Blades and his Vampiric Scepter, and he's just going to be able to stay in the lane forever.
And if you also notice, Jace does still have his 3 pops up, and this is probably due to a lack of Lee Sin pressure top. Lee Sin's been going bot, he's been going mid, and I don't think once he's gone top, and I think that's a mistake. Especially when you're letting, just pretty much just free farming at your Renekton, which Renekton can get scary if he can farm, but if he can't farm, I honestly don't think he really brings anything. Like, he doesn't have a stud. Well, he has his stun, but that's about it.
Right now, I would probably recommend Renekton probably going for that early Randuin's, especially against this team comp that Sovi's team's running right now. It definitely would be a very strong item, especially when you're down behind in the top lane. Good scaling tank is always a lot better than trying to go just for the damage.
Yeah, exactly. And I know there was one game where you were actually top with us, and you were playing Jax, and you were getting somewhat, you weren't really getting denied, but you did that. You went the tanking way, and it actually worked out really well. And so, from your experience, you feel that that's probably the best way to do it, huh?
Yeah, I always feel if you're down behind and you can't get those early damaging leads, it's always better just to build as a tanky because you're going to be able to help your team out more with your carries than, trying to go in there, get some damage in and then just dying.
I feel... Oh, actually, This is very interesting, though. If you look at it, Rumble actually has, he's farming probably better than Karthus. He's farming better than Karthus, and Karthus didn't actually get an assist for that kill. So that still means that, as far as mid's concerned, Rumble still is quite a bit ahead, especially against the Karthus, which, as everyone's seeing, Karthus is easily one of the easiest farming characters. So.
Right, and I like what this Rumble's doing. I like what this Rumble's doing in the mid. He's definitely just letting that Karthus burn all of his mana and then going in on him. When after he uses his spell rotation, he just goes on him, puts the pressure, and then Karthus just can't retaliate.
Exactly, and I know a lot of Karthuses really like to use that late waste to get their CS. Maybe more than they probably need to, and so as a result, it just leaves him open when he doesn't have any mana left. Like right here, he's just using his wall, or not his wall, but his AoE to damage down instead of just trying to last hit. Oh, we actually have Lee Sin coming in over here, both double buff jungles. He's not actually going to be able to do anything. He might actually get himself caught. I'd be surprised if he didn't get away.
Got double ulti going off. Two ultis getting burned right now. Lee Sin ulti, that was a very smart Lee Sin ulti. Karthus is at no mana, he's going to be at no health.
Oh my gosh, how did he get away from that one though?
That was very smart Lee Sin play right there.
That's really good. And then that Karthus too, like, he honestly didn't have any mana, and he totally just saved his team from getting a double kill right there. I think maybe Rumble might have gone a little early on his ultimate right there. He ulted the side after a movement ulted. And so if he had just, waited a little longer, but at the same time, it's like, you're in the moment, you're trying to get that kill, you're not really sure about what's going to go on, so we can't really blame him about that one.
Definitely, I think he should have waited on that Rumble ult and the Amuma ult. They had no reason to blow their ultimates right there. It actually ended up being a bad trade for them as they blew their flashes and their ultimates, whether Karthus didn't have to blow one of his ultimate. Lee Sin was the only one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, for sure, that is a really good observation. Karthus does still have his flash, Lee Sin still has his flash, and, Rumble has his flash, no ult, it's almost back up, but the main thing is Amuma losing his ult and his flash, so he's not really going to be able to initiate that many ganks.
Right, which right now is the perfect opportunity for Lee Sin to go top against this Jace.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. He's going to be pushing it up a little more. He's going to be a little overextended, and if this Lee Sin plays it right, as long as that Renekton, they can at least try and force him out of his lane. He's actually backing. He only used one health bot that entire 11 minutes.
It's a very good Jace right now. We actually got a kill on Ashe on bottom. No, Ignite just doesn't kill him.
Ashe, oh, okay, I see. And Lee Sin came in for that. Actually, I'm going to real quick rewind that just a second. You can go ahead and keep watching that game. If we go back, we see Lee Sin sitting here. He's not near the tri-bush because he knows that there's a vision on it. And so what he's going to do is he's going to wait until they initiate, like they did right there. And they actually went a little late. Ashe almost getting burned down. Lee Sin didn't actually do anything, but that was really good on Soviet Issue's part of just putting the pressure on before they could bring that 3-man gank in. Going back to live time.
Right, now with what just happened right now is Lee Sin went in for a gank on Rumble. Rumble ended up having to burn his flash, but then Amuma was there to counter and ended up making Lee Sin burn his flash.
Okay, so Lee Sin's flash is down, Rumble's flash is down. We have Renekton coming to this mid lane, Lee Sin in this mid lane. It looks like they really want to get this overextending. Rumble, they know he doesn't have flash, but he does have his speed boost, he does have his shield, and he's just going to peace out.
His ultimate is down though, which means he will not be that much of a threat right now. Smart thing right now, what I would definitely agree is for that Jace to be pushing his lane as hard as he can due to that Renekton being spotted in the mid lane, so he could go and help his bot lane right now.
We actually had mid rotate bot as well as Lee Sin came bot. They're just trading right now. There's not much going on. It's a lot of both teams have very, very high mobility champions, which I think is really, really smart. Especially since they have an Ashe, they need to have that mobility to try to pop flashes and whatnot early, so that they can't just chase that Ashe down. And as a result, just if you get caught, it's just peace out.
Now Jace is almost at 100 CS right now, 13 minutes into the game, and Renekton's at 35. I definitely, this is a very poor game for that Renekton right now. It's getting out CS right now, and he's about to lose his top tower due to this Jace. This is not good for him, especially the fact that he got that heart of gold. He's not going to be able to regen that much gold from that if he's not continuing the CS. He's just roaming around right now, not doing anything.
Yeah. And at the same time, though, like we saw him try to do something mid. Or in top, and he was just getting denied this entire time. We actually have a potential gank in mid. We got two going on. Karthus has his wall tamed down. He just got kicked back. He doesn't have his flash. He's going to use his speed boost.
Oh.
Lee Sin missing his skill shot right there, which could possibly allow Rumble to
Here
get
comes
out.
a Mumu for a counter.
Hero Mumu right here going in. Does he have
Very
his ult?
nice.
Ult up. And that's going to be possibly 2 kills. Oh,
Result in
perfect flash
double kill.
right there.
Lee Sin
Double
flashes,
flash.
very nice.
And then, he's going to bandage toss. If he lands this bandage toss, okay, it must not have been up. But that was really good. Good awareness by Sunoco to see that gank coming in and just being able to turn around, as well as Rumble being able to bait them in, not really act like he was getting any help, and then just turn around and last
Potential
second
kill
do
from
it.
Vayne on Morgana. Here comes the Ignite. No, she does not continue. And Ash Arrow on Nunu. Will Nunu die from the Ignite? Yes, he does. I definitely don't agree with that, with the bot lane just freezing like that, when, as you could tell, they were just watching the mid fight. They definitely needed to put some pressure on that so they could get Vayne could get into that position of getting a double kill right there instead of just watching the fight.
However, we do have a
Mumu going
in. However, it seems like Vayne did not get the memo that a memo would be there, and this could actually turn into...
Very nice condemn right there.
Could be and
wow.
Both of them solo. If that should have been a double kill. Pretty much most ways you like it.
Left me speechless right there.
Especially at the end, Ash barely surviving with probably about 40, maybe 50 health, just due to just a little miscommunication probably on their parts. It's not like they're in the same house or anything.
Here comes Lee Sin on a gank for top for Jace. He gets the Q, lands the slow. Renekton's got to get that stun, and very poor ulti.
Oh.
That Jace
actually, that's
definitely.
Scary.
That's the power of Jace, man. You can gank him, and he can just turn around right there and just kill you. It's a very scary thing to deal with.
And the main thing, if you think about it, if Jace didn't use his flash right there to make sure he got kicked the opposite way, he could have probably flashed in there and finished off Renekton right after that power blast as well.
Right. Lee Sin does not have the damage right now to take him on 1 versus 1.
Lee Sin does not have the damage to do really anything. He hasn't actually bought anything besides that Wiggles Lantern, I'm not sure. And the Mercury Treads.
Now, how do you feel about that? He got his Wriggles first. He got Boots 1, then Wriggles. How do you feel about that on a Lee Sin jungle?
It could be good because he wants to have that. He wants that ward so that at any time if he gets caught, he can ward over a bush, or he could also just ward up key points. But the thing is, he hasn't been keeping his farm up, and he hasn't been keeping his ganks up, and as a result, it probably was not the strongest opinion that he could have done with, because now he's 60 minutes in, he only has the Merc Treads and the Wiggles, and that's not really going to put you anywhere.
Now, we did have a little bit of middle harassment going on. As you can see, that power of that Rumble right there just took that Karthus down so much life, even having a Lee Sin right there to pressure with the Karthus.
We're actually going to have a commit coming in.
Very nice Dark Binding.
The cleanse are going to go. Rumble does not have his ult up. He's going to have to get away.
Very nice arrow on the Jace. Double kill from Renekton. That's just what he needs right now to get back into the game.
And let's see if
Lee Sin lasts his Q.
Off.
I don't think he has enough damage to kill right now.
He does not. And this just goes back to, so many attempted ganks that just didn't happen. And Bot is actually pushing 2 towers. Bot's going to get this second tower with Sovi and Issue, who completely ignored that mid, let the bottom rotate mid, get that double kill. But they, as a result, ended up having both the towers Bot, which in my opinion is a fair trade. How do you feel?
Honestly, as Vayne, I do like the global gold for your whole team. That's a very team play. but me being a Vayne player in general, I would definitely prefer for both of those to go in for that triple kill in the mid. Vayne's just too much of a champion that relies on kills and farm right now, and he's keeping a good farm right now, but one kill on Vayne is just not going to snowball you hard enough. I definitely think they should have gone mid for the team fight.
That is a very true statement you have right there. Also, Renekton getting the 2 kills kind of helps bring him back into the game, whereas he was completely shut down.
Right, now he could probably get a Phage, maybe a Hex Drinker, get a little beefy, maybe a little hybrid damage bruiser going on. And you see purple team's taking Dragon right now. This is very, they don't have an Oracles that I can see, so they don't know if they can see him or not, but
I don't think they're worried about it though, and they take it easily. Because even though they did give it that triple kill bot, they still have quite a significant lead in damage overall, as well as all of that team gold and just, you know, a much better farm on their side.
right. And that Lee Sin, I'm not sure what he's building right now, but he's been sitting on just Merc Tread Wriggles for quite a long time right now, and he just got a Ruby Crystal. Definitely think he, instead of a Ruby, probably should have gone for an Oracles. They need to clear wards and be able to catch some people right now because they're just down way too much gold.
And he's actually going to get caught here as well. Looks like he's going to have a team fight. Both team has all their ults.
Rumble ulti, Ashe ulti. Karthus flash Defile, not doing much right now.
Karthus goes down. Mumu, I believe, still has his ult in there.
Very nice ulti.
Now, Sovi's actually possibly going to get picked off right here, and Sovi gets picked off. There goes Morgana with no HP. Sunoko's going to chase, most likely won't be able to catch it up. And then, no, overall good trade. They're going to get this mid tower as a result. It kind of seemed like they could have killed more people than they did.
You know, I honestly feel like in this situation right now, they need to hit a Baron up right now. There's just a Baron at this time right now is just going to snowball their game so much harder and just probably end up in a win. I don't think taking 2 towers is worth it right now.
Do you believe that they could have done it without Vayne, though? Because they did lose Vayne in that.
I think if they split damage between Jace and Amumu, they definitely probably could have killed it.
Oh, and Jace being forced to flash right there. Maybe, you know, I mean, he had to flash. It could have possibly been avoided. However, we did have Nunu doing a little shuffling up there, so it was still worth it. It looks like Karthus wants to go and snag his blue buff, which is really good. Karthus with blue buff is probably one of the most important champs to ever get into. At the same time, it could be the worst, because a lot of Karthuses like to run Suicide Karthus, and by doing Suicide Karthus with blue buff, you're pretty much just giving that buff to the enemy team during a big team fight.
Hey, how do you feel about this Karthus going Rod of Ages, Source Boots, like, just as his only 2 items, getting his Rod of Ages this late in the game?
Well, again, I think a lot of that contributes. These people probably have, or these players, I'm sorry, they probably have these set build orders, and they're really, really, really set on it. It's not the right choice. However, they feel that, you know, it works for them, and if he was able to get it before because he wasn't getting denied, you know, farm and whatnot, then it could have been good. But 22 minutes in the game, maybe, especially since he's been dying, I'd say he should have probably just gone for pure AP just to make his ult that much stronger when he dies.
Now, blue team has quite the good vision right now around the Baron side, possibly setting up for a counter if purple tries. Right now, purple really does not have that much vision right now, which is definitely a scary thing, especially when you have, you know, a Karthus Ashe going on right now, because that's just, you can catch so many people with just those 2 combos right there.
It is actually good you bring that up, because we are actually in mid-game where, you know, it is possible for teams to be able to snowball back from their early game decline. However, you know, they do have to get someone caught off guard, and with that Ashe Arrow, as you said before, Ashe Arrow into Morgana Dark Binding, that could be really, really strong at trying to get them the lead. They just need to start grouping up with this really good ward coverage they have.
Right.
It looks like there is actually going to be a potential fight over here for Baron. Jason clearing out one of those wards.
Got a pink ward up on Baron. That definitely means they should be going for a Baron before that pink ward drops.
You have another pink ward over here in this bush as well, making sure that they can see it. And it does look like they want to force the Baron, which I believe is a strong decision because they do have the Amumu, they do have the Rumble. Rumble is pretty fed, and then they also have the really strong Vayne farm and the really strong Jace. Alright, let's see how this goes.
And here comes a face check. Wow.
And this is what we said before, it's literally just a melt.
Wow.
If you saw that, like, Amumu ulted and then Rumble literally just had to ult on top of Amumu's ult, and then it was, you know, and there's the surrender. It was, I honestly don't believe that team could have really made much of a comeback.
You know, I think maybe with just a little more smarts out there, they probably could have came back, but I ain't putting too much on these players right now. I mean, Sovi's team played very strong right there and definitely exploited their weaknesses in that match.
There was also a lot of, you know, the Amumu jungle, do you feel that it really helped their team a lot with his ability to not only gank but also counter gank?
You know, I feel like the Amumu jungle honestly wasn't that useful in this game. I think you definitely could have thrown any other jungler in there. It probably would have done just as equal, but I definitely feel like the Amumu did have some clutch plays, which I can't deny.
Especially at the end where he literally just ulted, and then you saw the ult, they couldn't move, and you saw the Rumble ult, and then you just saw exactly what happens when you let Rumble go mid, and you let Rumble get fed.
Right, I definitely think the MVP of that game right there was the Jace. Being able to shut down a Renekton on the top lane just like that is just so nice for your team. Renekton's not a champion that you can just rely on his skills to, you know, CC a team out. He's just not one of those champions. And keeping him under-farmed, under-leveled, you know, just not being able to get any kills is just very good, strong play from Jace right there.
Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. This was Malkir along with Zicks, you know, and that was our game. So thank you, and we will most likely see you guys again.